Rapid fire trivia. If you weren't in the film industry, what career would you have instead?
Rock and roll.
Speaking of your career, you worked on Executive Decisions starring Kurt Russell. He played Jungle Boy as a child in one episode of what television show about a group of people stranded on an island?
Ooh. Kurt Russell? Got me.
Doing a buzzer? Gilligan's Island.
He was in Gilligan's Island?
One episode.
It's a boy.
Okay.
Speaking of Gilligan's Island, who starred in Castaway?
I never watched Gilligan's Island.
This isn't Gilligan's Island anymore.
Okay, you got me.
Tom Hanks.
Oh! Yes. Well done! How could I miss?
Speaking of Tom Hanks,
Yes.
in Splash, he fell in love with a mermaid played by Daryl Hannah.
Correct.
Who directed it?
It was either Bob Zemeckis or Ron Howard.
I'll give that to you. It's Ron Howard.
Okay.
Speaking of Ron Howard, he directed a film you worked on where a young farmer, played by Warwick Davis, is chosen to undertake a perilous journey in order to protect a special baby from an evil queen.
Oh, it's Lord of the Rings with child. It was Willow.
Nailed it. Speaking of Warwick Davis,
Yes.
he played an Ewok, Wicket,
Yeah.
in 3 Star Wars films. Can you name them?
Return of the Jedi. I don't think he's in Wrath of Khan.
No, we're
Not
mixing
Wrath
up.
of Khan, sorry.
Isn't that logical?
The second one.
Remember,
None of this goes to Comic-Con.
he's an Ewok,
Yeah.
so we have to limit it to where Ewoks appear.
Not his wick. Okay, you got me.
It's Return of the Jedi, you got Caravan of Courage, An Ewok Adventure, and Ewoks Battle for Endor.
None of which I watch because I understand they're horrible.
Well, I mean, don't tell them that.
They made a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
I'm
true,
sure.
it's true, it's true. Speaking of Star Wars,
Yes.
in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back,
Mhm.
the Force-powerful Yoda was introduced. Who was the voice of Yoda?
Frank Oz.
Wow, Frank Oz. He went on to direct a film featuring Steve Martin and Michael Caine about 2 con men trying to settle their rivalry by betting on who can swindle a young American heiress out of $50,000 first. Name the movie.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Nailed it.
He'll enjoy Oklahoma's wide open spaces. He loves to run and run.
Speaking of Michael Caine, he was in Cider House Rules with what actor who played Spider-Man? Who also played Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire?
Nailed it.
I will never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility.
Speaking of Spider-Man, the current Spider-Man is Tom Holland. In this generation of films, what actor, director, plays Happy Hogan?
Oh, Favreau.
Speaking of Jon Favreau, he played D-Bob in what film about a kid that has always been told that he was too small to play college football, but he is determined to overcome the odds and fulfill his dream of playing for Notre Dame?
Rudy.
There you go.
You ready, champ?
I've been ready for this my whole life.
And a killer soundtrack
There you go.
by Jerry Goldsmith.
And it's Notre Dame, sorry. Speaking of Sean Astin, he played the Hobbit Samwise Gamgee in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and who is also in the credits of those films in visual effects as director of photography, motion control programmer of the miniature unit. Who is that person?
Would be me.
It is you. So, this has been Below the Line Rapid Fire Trivia.